Good morning. Welcome to City News 24/7. I'm Faiza Amin. The expansion of a Pickering long-term care home with one of the worst death records of the pandemic is being challenged in court. Our Caryn Ceolin joining us now from the courthouse with the story of a woman whose father lived and died at Orchard Villa. Caryn, what an emotional day it must be for everyone.
Yeah, Faiza, we just heard from the Ontario Health Coalition and families of residents of Orchard Villa residents, I should say, just outside the courthouse before they head in. Together, they are asking for a judicial review of the Ford government's approval of an 88-bed expansion and 30-year license renewal for Orchard Villa, which, of course, the military entered during the pandemic to help the home get a COVID outbreak under control and reported disturbing conditions. According to the court filing, 206 of Orchard Villa's 233 residents had COVID by spring 2020, and during the first wave, more than 70 residents died at the home. Now, the Canadian Armed Forces later released a scathing report that said, among many other problems, patients at Orchard Villa were left in soiled diapers, caregivers were burned out, and the facility was infested with cockroaches and flies. So the Ontario Health Coalition says even after the pandemic, there has been poor inspecting reports and non-compliance reported at Orchard Villa, which is indefensible that they would be granted not only a license renewal, but also an expansion. And so we also heard from Kathy Parks. Her father died at Orchard Villa in April 2020. She says they simply don't want this to happen to anyone else because, in her words, her dad lived through horrific conditions. Have a listen.
It's really like a human story. We don't want to see anyone who will have to go through what our families had to go through and what our loved ones had to go through. So, and I think what I'm hoping for today is that there will be a really clear decision that the ministry has to follow their own act, which states that they have to take the history of the house of the long-term care home into account before they can issue a license.
So a panel of judges with the Ontario Divisional Court is hearing this court challenge today. It has just begun inside Osgoode Hall right behind me here. Of course, the Ontario Health Coalition, FISA, as well as the families, they're asking the court to quash Orchard Villa's license renewal.
And we will be keeping an eye on this story throughout the day. Caryn Ceolin, we thank you so much for this report.
Thank you.